Hey, welcome to the franchise, that dumb shit show where we talk about dumb shit movies for your dumb shit pleasure. I'm your co-dumb shit, Daniel Ehrenberg. Forgot my name for a second. That's how dumb I am.
Well, you know.
I just watched Bloodsport IV, the Dark Kumite. I think it sapped me of some brain cells.
I would understand that. One of those super fake kicks to the brain, maybe.
What, you didn't buy that they weren't touching each other? You know, this fourth director
of all the Bloodsport movies. Before we give opinions, I will comment on the fighting. I didn't buy it for a second.
Only in this fourth one, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, I agree. For some reason, we have a new director in this fourth one, and he doesn't know how to shoot fights. You can get anyone. You could get some dumbass who shoots like fucking WWF shows Saturday mornings. Yeah. That guy will know how to shoot a fight with a fucking foot looking like it's hitting somebody when it's not.
Yeah, they're like 3 feet apart every time something lands. It's pretty
good. It is wild. They'll throw a fucking like a big side kick to the head, right? Yeah, and it looks like it's 3 feet from the head, and then it's like it's so clear that he didn't hit him that like you expect it to be part of the movie where it's like, haha, you were way off. But no, then the other guy's like, ouch.
Right, delayed reaction, blood capsule. Yeah.
It's out of control, Henry.
It really is.
Although that last kick when he gets the pen in the head is pretty good.
That was good. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. It's episode 265. Welcome, world. It's a song we're singing to make you happy.
What is that?
Partridge Family, right?
You were just quoting the Partridge Family?
Yeah. Hello, world. It's a song. Here's a song
singing. Come on, get happy. Yeah. Right. Of course. Weird reference. You're so old. Is that just like ingrained in you, huh, from your childhood?
Yeah. Although I was a Brady Bunch guy.
So. Yeah, I was way more a Brady Bunch guy. Why was there like a feud between the two? They couldn't coexist.
Back in the day, man, there was like 4 shows on television. And, 2 of them were about teenagers' families.
Were they perpetuating the feud, though? Like, it's funny that in hindsight, like, it really was a thing where the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch, it was like you were one or the other.
Yeah,
but do you think, like, who is in the shows? Like, you think, like, the dude... Sure. You think that guy was like, fuck Mike Brady?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, man.
Fucking gay boy.
Brady, they're probably having a lot more fucked up fun than the Partridge Family.
And they were fucking, right? The mom and the son were fucking.
Sure.
The dad was out there getting laid in the park, if you know what I mean. waiting at the bench. In those days.
Cruising.
Yeah. And then the Cassidys, they were involved in the Partridge Family. I don't know the Partridge Family that well. Is Susan Day a thing? Is that a person?
Right? Yeah, that's a person. She hosted Saturday Night Live once. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't know who she was.
The Cassidys have all gone on to shit. Like, I know them from stuff, just not the Partridge Family. David Cassidy, of course, was voted out first in Celebrity Big Brother a couple of years ago. And I think it was fired first on The Apprentice, and Donald Trump called him gay.
That sounds about right.
Donald Trump fired David Cassidy because he was too big a pussy. I remember that. Yeah. Sure. And then Sean Cassidy... he went on to create TV shows that I watched. Oh. He created a show called Invasion about alien lights that come down to the bayou. All right?
Great.
It was great.
Yeah. Well, listen, everybody. It was Bloodsport for a couple of weeks now, courtesy of Evil Chris, and today is Bloodsport 3, which we both watched on YouTube, and Bloodsport 4, the Dark Kumite, which I paid $4 for to watch on Amazon.
Why'd you do that?
I couldn't take watching it again on a YouTube thing. Did you watch it on YouTube?
No, this was available for free on Tubi, my friend.
I hate you. I didn't bother because sometimes when we get these commissions, I plan out ahead of time and I just look like I'd already put it on my watch list I found on Amazon. So I was like, I'll pay $4. And honestly, this movie dragged. So I'm glad I didn't have ads.
Honestly, I paid also. I forwent Tubi and paid. Well, I just wanted to make you feel bad. I had to watch it this morning, you'll recall. So I only had.
I recall very clearly.
He's saying that because I was late to recording because I was watching the movie.
Yep.
He seems still mad at me a little bit.
No, I'm not mad.
I feel like he's harboring some ill will. So if you sense any ill will in this episode, it's all coming from this motherfucker.
It's sibling love. It's sibling love. That's how it goes. There's ups and there's downs.
And that's what he says when he hates me to soften it.
He knows me well, folks. Mm-hmm. He knows me. So what did you watch it on then? If you
also Amazon.
You did do Amazon. All right. Yeah.
I can't believe this is available to rent for money. This should not cost money. This is not a movie. Stop making us watch these movies. They're not movies. People try and stick to theaters, guys. When things come out in theaters, they at least look like movies.
Is this our fault though? Because we probably started this with fun shit like Troll.
Listen, Henry, if you want to assign blame, you could go all the way back to the beginning and assign it to us for creating the show. All right? Assign it to me for coming up with this stupid idea in the first place. But
we could have made the rule right away where direct to video does not count. We could have just made it a rule. Theatrical franchises only.
There were always a few direct-to-videos that I thought would be important to include in a few franchises. And so, because of that, I opened it up to this. And now people feel they could give us anything. This Bloodsport shit Evil Chris is giving us. I mean, I love nothing against Evil Chris, obviously. And I enjoyed watching the Bloodsport movies. I kind of always wanted to watch the sequels. But I will say, the first one is a theatrical movie. There are no theatrical sequels. It's just you're Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then you're fucking slumming it. Although, didn't we say the second one got a brief theatrical release?
Yeah, we released an hour, one show.
I know.
One show in Tulsa.
We're watching Bloodsport 3 and 4 this week, and these things, they don't even resemble movies. We're just watching, the labor of some fucking movie professionals trying to fucking cobble together a story. It is wild. This is what it must be like when you go to I was always in smart kid writing classes, but if you go in a remedial creative writing class,
classes I was in.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of stories like Bloodsport IV, the Dark Kumite?
Sure. This is, not even as a kid. I remember in college, my final semester, I had to take a creative writing class. This reminds me of some of those stories some of those 23-year-olds were pumping out, including mine.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a lot of karate in yours?
Oh, dude, everybody thinks they're a fucking writer. It's just like music. Everybody thinks they're a musician. Just put down the pen.
Yeah. When I was... I've told stories about this girl, the one who left the CD with that said, "If it's real, it's worth fighting for," and it had the one song from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves on it.
That's better writing than this movie.
No, what I'm saying is another wrinkle to that relationship was next to her bed, she had poems that she had written taped to her wall.
Ooh.
And I got to read them while I was going to bed.
And?
Oh my God, dude. Some of crazy. I should have left. I should have gotten out. I should have gotten up and left.
Yeah.
They're not published today. I had an interaction with her on a dating app once. I swiped just because it's like, hey, I know you. And then we talked, and it didn't go well. All right.
Oh, okay.
Henry.
Was it as good as my astrology one?
She had been in like an abusive relationship for years and just gotten out of it. And, I don't know. I got the sense she maybe wanted to date me again. She was surprised I remembered her last name, which shows me the opinion she has of herself. And then she, like the next day, really randomly, she texted me and was like, I'm going to be at a bar that's like 5 minutes from your apartment. And like she's Long Island. Like she wouldn't be coming to the city if it wasn't for something specific. And so then I didn't go. I like texted her the next day like, sorry I couldn't make it. Hope you had fun. You know? Sure. And she never responded to that text. Never heard from her again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's sad.
It's very sad.
It's sad.
Poor girl. All right, Bloodsport 3. Let's talk about it. Although,
sorry,
what'd you say?
Nothing. I was doing a Hannibal Lecter. I was in Paw, Gal.
Oh, sure. But you know what? I'm alone now, so we're both fucking up. Bloodsport 3. Let's talk about it. Alan Meirez. He's back.
I had a difficult time getting into the movie because right about 3 minutes into the movie, for some reason, I don't know why, I went on Letterboxd and I read Dan's review of Bloodsport 3, which apparently he had already watched, and I don't know why, but it made me laugh so hard that I basically missed the first 15 to possibly 20 minutes because I couldn't stop thinking about his review. And I had tears coming down my face. My jaw was clenched, trying to not laugh and focus on the movie. And I don't know, brother, that was just something in that review. Just it got me.
All really I wrote was imagine your dad telling you the story. Because the movie has a framing device set years in the future, I guess. And Alex Cardo, he's our lead character still from Bloodsport 2, The Next Kumite.
Correct.
They could have called this one that too, Bloodsport 3, The Next Kumite. It's also The Next Kumite.
Yeah, it is. This following Kumite.
Yeah. So he now has a son in the future, Henry.
Yeah.
And the son, he's having some troubles in school. Well, we didn't do the stats. But all I'm saying is, like, the framing device is he's telling the son the story of his life, basically. And, the story of his life is that he competed in kumites and shit. And so it's just so funny to me that this kid is yeah, what happened next, Dad?
Well, of course, because my mind went universal, right? So I'm picturing what Dan wrote, and I'm thinking, like, his dad telling him the story.
I'm picturing that too, yeah.
My dad telling me the story. All of our dads sitting us down like, son, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
And then this is the fucking story that comes out, and it's just incredible.
Listeners of We Love Kids movies on the Patreon know what my dad sounds like. He came on and did a Mr. Ed impression. Yeah. And he will, it would be so wild. Like, my dad has told me crazy stories from his past. I don't know everything about my dad's past, but it's always like, this one time I had sex with a girl at the college library when I was 20, and I always remember that. It's like, it's always ridiculous shit like that, Like, I found out just a couple years ago, like one day he was like, well, when I was with my first wife before your mom, and we were all like, what?
Wait a second, Steve.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He was with some older woman before my mom. When he was like 20, he was with someone in her 30s and they were married.
And he never told you that?
Not until like a couple years ago. Like, and he didn't tell it to me. Like, it wasn't like, son, I have something to tell you.
Right.
It was like on Thanksgiving and we were just chatting and it came up. And my sister didn't know either.
I am shocked. And your sister's older than you.
Yeah.
I'm stunned. Did your mother know?
Yeah, and she was just like, oh, yeah, he was married. No one gave a fuck. My parents are weird. All right? So my dad telling me he competed in the Kumite would be totally insane.
But it sounds like it'd be totally in character.
Well, I feel like I'd have to do some research. Like, I'd have to at least consider that it could be true. All right.
That would be, if that happened in my family, the whole family would fall apart. Everybody would be, the entire, including me. My life would have to totally be rethunk. Yeah.
Well, not this family.
Look at you.
Bloodsport 3's writer was a fellow by the name of James Williams. His only credit is Bloodsport 3. And this movie came out May 13th, 1997 on video. That's all I've got for you in terms of the plot. Let's get back to this framing device. All right. So the kid, Henry, is struggling in school. He has gotten into a fight, and he has been suspended for 10 days. All right?
Yeah, he fucked up 3 8th graders.
Yeah, and his dad is Alex Cade from the previous movie.
Or Cardo.
Why did I say Cade? Is that from something? All right, Alex Cardo. Alex Cardiovascular. He's talking to the son, and he's like, listen, you're struggling in school. And he's like, it was self-defense, Dad. Those three, they were bullying me, and I just, like, came out with some spinny kicks and killed them. And he was like, well, very good, son, in his stupid fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme fake accent. And, very good, son. Well, let me tell you how to succeed in other situations like that. Perhaps you might have to fight further bullies in future in kumites worldwide.
Yeah, you're not lying.
Is that a good impression?
No, but it works for this. It's perfect.
Can you do it?
No, because it's like he's getting better. Well, son, it's okay to learn self-defense, but you have to learn how to guide your inner spirit and learn how to harness. It's worse than
that. You're giving him too much credit.
It's not that, he's really trying, Daniel Bernhardt. He's getting better at the accent. It's not as thick. It's not nearly as thick as Van Damme.
We're learning more and more about Daniel Bernhardt. I'm very interested in this man's life, and I'd like to watch a reality show about him, I think. So we learned last week that he hangs out a lot with Bob Odenkirk.
Right.
Yeah. Now, this week, I learned something new.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'm going to skip ahead to Bloodsport, the Dark Kumite, briefly.
Yeah, go ahead, but it doesn't matter.
You'll recall there's an actress in that film by the name of Lisa Stothard, who is a fellow police officer and sexy, and
Blair
comes in as a sexy nun. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Now, do you know anything about this young actress?
No, I do not.
She met young Daniel Bernhardt on the set of Bloodsport IV, the Dark Kumite, and married him!
Oh, look at that. The chemistry was real.
They have chemistry. They have one child together, okay?
Yeah.
But I want you to listen to this anecdote that I found on the internet that I think is a real window into Daniel Bernhardt's life. And anecdotes like this are the reason I will never live in Los Angeles.
Oh. Interesting. All right.
In April 2014, Lisa Stothard and her husband, actor Daniel Bernhardt, actor.
The two hearts, heart to heart.
Oh, great. It's like that classic show where they solve mysteries. filed a $2 million lawsuit against the city of Santa Monica after she collided with another skater in January 2014 at ICE, a city-owned ice skating rink. According to Stothard, she and the couple's daughter were there attending another child's birthday party, and that many skaters were children and teens who were skating at an excessive rate of speed, which was faster than safe, according to the suit, and that employees saw this and did nothing. All right? At one point, a boy collided with Stothard, and she fell, dislocating her right ankle, breaking her leg, and causing her to have to use a wheelchair and to fear that her right foot would have to be amputated.
Oh, get out of here.
All right? She claimed that she suffered flashbacks, recurring nightmares, and loss of consortium.
Loss of consortium?
Yeah, just your bearings, I guess.
Wow.
All right? So
I hope she lost.
Just to break that down, she went to a birthday party with her daughter. So a kid ran into her ice skating by accident, and she sued the city for $2 million.
Did she win?
I don't have information on that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to see if I can find out?
Something tells me she didn't.
Well, I feel like it would be in that bit of trivia if she had one.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's when you go to an ice rink, there's collisions. When you take little kids, there are no speed limits unless the, quote unquote referee, who's usually a teenager who's making like $4 an hour, just says, "Hey, slow down."
Yeah. That when you're complaining about like the employees were saying nothing, like what are the employees gonna? Yeah, that's all they could do. Slow down.
That's all they could do.
Slow down.
Because I've kind of been that guy who really wants to see how fast he can skate.
Yeah.
And that jerk. And I've actually never been reprimanded, so I could have collided with.
I have another wrinkle to this story.
A wrinkle in time.
I have a news story from a few months after that says, man drops out of lawsuit against city of Santa Monica, wife doesn't. So Daniel Bernhard fucking was like, listen, this is crazy. You're being a real fucking bitch right now. And she was just like, well, you can drop out if you want to, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, that is absolutely repulsive. Oh my God. There is one reason I can justify for her.
Yeah, go ahead.
She probably really needed the money at this point.
How dare you say that? She's living in Santa Monica with her husband, who's still working as a stuntman in films.
He's making a very good living. That's true. He's doing very well. I don't know about her. Yeah. Good point.
I don't know about her either. I really can't figure this out. I can't tell you who won.
That's okay. Wow. So Bernhardt, what's her name? Stotthart?
Yeah, or Stothard, whatever you want to do.
So Bernhardt has a little bit more common sense than Stotthart.
Yeah, we've learned that. They are still married, though.
Well, good for them. I thought that her acting in Bloodsport 4 was totally incredible and on sort of a different level than the rest of the film.
Did you?
No. I didn't. I wonder if she was jealous in the scene where Bernhard has sex with a woman with full underwear on. And that's where the woman,
yeah. I forgot about that. That was a weird sex scene, man. Because we're not up to Bloodsport. We're not up to Bloodsport 4. But I will say, what was up with? It seems like Daniel Bernhard. We got a real glimpse into how he fucks in that scene, and. What he likes to do is violently jerk women's heads back. Did you notice that? He does it like 17 times in that scene.
Yeah. 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 He does.
That's fine to do once or twice, but
Sure,
I was worried for this poor girl's neck.
I know. Whiplash. Yeah, I know. Especially given his neck-breaking capabilities.
That's true. It's not like he's never broken a neck before.
No, it's not.
He's actually known for it.
You'd think before she'd be like, look, I want you to pull my hair, but not too hard. Not like you do usually. Just gently.
I would be like, listen, you're already choking me and grabbing my hair. If you want to violently jerk my neck back, can you just, wait 10-minute intervals? Because, I don't want to be that fucking scarf girl in Scary Stories you tell in the dark who, when you take your scarf off, her head falls off.
Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't want you to ruin my TL. My T6.
Are those vertebrae?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Henry, let's talk about Bloodsport 3. Let's go back in time and talk about this one because we keep wanting to talk about the one we just watched.
Oh, no, please. Let's get into John Rhys Davies, only 7 years removed from starring in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So I don't know what we're doing here, John Rhys.
Why? I mean, do we need him?
He's a famous actor, I know. It doesn't even matter anymore. This happens to us all the time. I constantly get shocked when I see these reputable actors in shit, and I shouldn't be because
you give too many actors the veneer of reputability.
Yeah, I guess.
John Rhys Davies is not a reputable actor. He's John Rhys Davies. But he got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade so that he could be in shit like this. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was this pie-in-the-sky achievement for Jonathan Rhys Davies that lets him work for the rest of his life. But the roles he's getting for the rest of his life aren't going to be on par with Indiana Jones. They're going to be on par with Bloodsport 3.
Let's see. He was in SpongeBob SquarePants. He was Treebeard in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of trees in that movie that are walking around.
And I always knew he was in The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton, but that's 87.
Well, speaking of Bond, Bloodsport 3, baby. Was this your favorite Bloodsport movie because it's sort of like a James Bond movie?
Oh my God. Given that I never even thought of what you're talking about, I guess not. No.
But at
the casino?
Well, yeah, at the very beginning, he's like, "Let me tell you, son, about your dad, about where he came from." All right. Story begins. I was the coolest motherfucker in China. I wore killer tuxedos. I went to the casino, won tons of money, fucked every hot bitch. And then, the kid's like, tell me more, Dad. I believe everything you're saying. The other thing that happens with this framing device is that the dad, Daniel Bernhard, goes, son, have you ever heard of the Kumite?
Yeah, that's a great line. That's one of the best lines ever.
Yeah. And the son has.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dad.
Yeah, the Kumite. It's like martial arts championships, right?
Sure, I heard about it.
So here's an underreported consequence of the first Bloodsport movie that I came up with while watching this movie. Okay. Here's what I think happened. We leave them off at the end of that movie. The Kumite is such a secret that even the members of the U.S. government, including Forrest Whitaker, don't know whether it's an urban legend or not.
Right.
Okay? Now, years in the future, a 10-year-old boy knows what the Kumite is. I have a theory about what happened. Jean-Claude Van Damme leaves Bloodsport, Frank Dukes, all right?
Yeah, Dukes.
With that reporter lady.
Sure.
Okay? And we think they're going to go on and live happily ever after.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they get back to America. This reporter lady goes straight to Newsweek or Time, runs a massive expose on the fucking Kumite with first-person interviews with the winner of the Kumite, Frank fucking Dukes. All right, gets that dude blackballed from Kumites. That's why we haven't seen him since. All right? and of course exposes the Kumite to the public to the point where a 10-year-old would know what it is.
I think that's a perfect theory and totally believable.
Thank you.
She blew the whistle. She blew the whistle.
She did. She was the Julian Assange of the Kumite.
Yeah. Assange
is in prison now, by the way, unlike Bill Cosby. So make sure you don't blow any whistles. Just rape yourself off. Rape away. Don't blow any whistles. That's the message from America this week.
That's a line from Signs, right?
Rape away. Horrible. Okay. What else happens in this movie?
Well, they kill James Hong. John Rhys
that doesn't happen for a while, right?
Well, John Rhys Davies thanks Bernhardt for saving a robbery in his casino inexplicably, and he says, "I need you to fight in my kumite." And he refuses, said, "I do not fight for profit." So he says, "Well, you will look at Beast. He is something to behold."
Wait, but we keep saying kumite now. Is that just what we call karate competitions?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I don't think this is an official kumite.
You're right, because Rhys Davies says basically that he's organizing it. And I don't think that's how it works.
No, I would think there's like
it's a private
an
kumite.
Organization of elders.
Right.
Because in the first one, they're getting like mysterious invitations to the kumite.
Right. Like from Kunlun or something.
Yeah. Fighters should be trying to get into the kumite, right? It shouldn't be like the organizer of the kumite going like, "Please fight in my kumite. We need stars like you."
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. So so Rhys Davies organizes his own pseudo kumite, and he's got this guy Beast, and this was very confusing to me.
Hank Beast.
Because what's that? That's right. He's got Hank Beast over there. This was very confusing to me, and I didn't bother to think about it much after. So he wants Alex to be in the kumite, and he wants to show him Beast. And then when Alex refuses to be in the kumite, he wants to force him to be in the kumite. And then at the end, when he shows up in the kumite, he doesn't want him in the kumite. And I know it's all about betting and money, because Rhys Davies has bet all his money on Beast. But if you've bet all your money on Beast in the first scene, then why would you ever want Alex in the kumite? Why would you recruit him at all? To up the odds?
Here's the thing. He sees Alex as his meal ticket. Alex is the winner of the previous official kumite, all right?
Yeah.
He's also got this mongoloid Beast, and he brings, this pituitary case out, and he's like, "I am a fighter," and John Rhys Davies expects Alex Bernhard to be, what is his name? Daniel Bernhard, Alex
Daniel
Cardo. And Cardo, he expects Cardo to be like, "Wow, like I love fighting so much. So this Beast, I'm looking at this guy. I got to know what it's like to fight this guy." But Alex is like, "I'm a pacifist now. Right. That's a part of my character. It'll continue in the next movie, even though I'm playing a different character." And so, Rhys Davies doesn't get him. But then he still wants him. So he has James Hong killed, his mentor. I'm just going through it to try and rationalize it.
No. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. That will pressure him.
Yes.
It was sad that James Hong was in this movie and didn't have any lines.
Yes, I agree, because I was fully prepared to give him my MVP. And I couldn't. Maybe I still will. I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could. It's sad, though. He gets blown up. Really, just exploded to death.
Yes. Right.
Which is fine. And then he goes to Pat Morita for another cameo. I can't believe they got both of them to be in this.
I know, man. Well, it's 90, what is it, 96, 97?
Right. But then what's happening is, like, they're doing all these, like, preliminary kumite matches.
Right.
And the Beast is doing real well. So now he's starting to think the Beast is his star. And if Alex were in the competition, he could beat the Beast.
Correct.
I think no, it doesn't make any sense, Henry.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get it to make sense because it won't. But I'm just trying to go through the plot.
Sound it out.
Sound it out. That's a good way to put it.
Because I'm trying to figure out who he wanted originally to win.
He wanted Alex to win, but then by the time the actual Kumite happens, he wants Beast to win and feels that Alex could be a threat to that.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. And it's clearly just about betting because that's all that's going on during the entire match.
But what are they betting on? Just who's going to win? Are there odds?
Right, because then the dude next to him, an unexplained rich dude who has a briefcase full of money. By the way, if you're John Rhys Davies, just get a private box. Why would you sit next to somebody else who's just going to look at you the whole time being like, that's right. I'm going to bet against your guy and I'm going to win.
Hey, who's the lady in this movie?
Oh, the LVP? She is John Rhys Davies' daughter, a redhead.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Wait, no. You think she's the LVP?
Alex Van Lent, I believe her name is.
Her name is Amber Van Lent.
Amber Van. I had it written down. I just didn't bother. Yeah. Amber Van Lent. Yeah, she's a real siren.
She was a model, and I will say, strikingly beautiful.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, before we shit all over her acting, I she is really special. It's the kind of thing if she could act at all, she would have been a star.
Yeah. She's really it's jarring, and this is Bloodsport 3, so I'm not looking for Jaws on the boat scene type of acting here, but wow. It's just very it's entertaining actually.
And
it's so bad.
Yeah, very wooden. Is she the one who sings to him?
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. There's no doubt in my mind. The director was like, so we want to have a singing scene, and she said, I can sing. I have a record that I'm working on right now. And he's like, okay. And then she gets up there and she sounds a bit like a castrati.
Do you think that's what happened, or do you think that the director was perhaps in a state of undress on his casting couch, and perhaps she mentioned she could sing, and he hadn't finished yet, so he made a promise that he had to keep.
Yeah. I think that's actually a brilliant theory.
It reminded me of Twin Peaks, though. It looked like the way they put artists singing in the what's the place they sing? The Roadhouse. There's that Roadhouse. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, she is so out of tune. It is hysterical. It is hilarious, and she's looking at Bernhardt the whole time, this is for you. And
the Bang Bang Bar, by the way. Sorry.
Okay, the Bang Bang. Well, it's appropriate for this movie too. And she's looking at Alex the whole time, and he's just looking at her. He's enchanted by her beautiful voice.
I mean, I was too.
I was not. I mean, it's and I love looking at you.
Hey, you know what I say? If a lady sounds like a castrati, at least I know there's no dick down there.
Balls, but yeah, right.
Well, I guess so. They cut off the ball. Would they leave the dick? Did those castrati little boys have a dick, no balls?
I believe so.
What are you gonna do with that thing?
Sing real well.
I'll just whack people with it. If I had a non-working dick and no balls, I would walk around pantsless and just whack people with it. What do you think?
I mean, it's possible if it's big enough, Otherwise, you're gonna be hitting your own cell.
It wouldn't be hard though. It would be swinging. No, I understand. So you just get up close enough and you'd go, whap.
Right.
It'd be a little mini whip.
Is that the origin of the term swinging dick?
No.
Castrati goes back to 15.
Castrati could be. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, swinging dick.
You walk around with a real swinging dick and no balls.
Thank you. I sing operas very well.
All right.
Simpson and Delilah on cue.
So, yeah, does he fuck this daughter? I can't remember. Who cares?
I don't think they consummate the relationship, but I could be wrong. They might have. It was tough to focus.
It reminded me a lot of Season 2, Episode 6 of Angel, Guys Will Be Guys. It's the one where Wesley has to go undercover at Virginia Bryce's dad's house and free Virginia, and then they end up dating. You know the one I'm talking about?
I remember catching it back in the day, but it's it's some vagaries in the plot.
It's also the one where Angel goes to that Swami, and he turns out to be a demon who has killed the previous Swami, and he has to kill that Swami.
Memory reactivated.
Great. Glad to hear it. So the movie keeps going.
He goes inexplicably. I just don't understand how many levels of training there are here. It's like Scientology or something. He's already able to like start fires with his fucking hand, like pyro, or actually better than pyro, because pyro needs a flame, correct?
Oh, I think pyro. Oh, I guess he does need a flame. That's why he carries around those little things on his arms.
Little Zippos.
Yeah.
This guy starts fires. He can put out candles. And yet he still feels he has not achieved enough training. So he goes to the mountains of somewhere. And he has to learn how to catch arrows. And this is one of the weirdest scenes in the movie. He finds James Hong's brother. Okay, it turns out to be his brother. Mm-hmm. And he's training with him. Then he's having some real chemistry sparks with the daughter of this guy, this beautiful...
Ginger.
No. Another daughter in the movie, the Asian one.
Oh, God, right. God, this guy's a menace to daughters.
Well, and he's refusing sex with all of them, so I don't know really what his story is. But so they have.
He's worried about their necks. He's looking at them. He's like, I know the way I fuck, and these necks can't take it.
Anyone he cares about. That's why he fucks the other one in the next movie, because he doesn't care about her, because she's a bad guy.
Yeah, she is a bad guy. Oh, you know what I didn't realize?
What's that?
The woman he fucks
is not Blair. Yeah.
Wait, what? Who's Blair?
It's not his cop. No.
I know that. But is it the same woman who dies at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought those were two different characters.
Yeah, she dies anyway.
You know, she wears a black wig sometimes. And
that was very confusing.
That confused
That's the same woman?
I think so, yeah.
I thought it was another one. I was like, oh, this fucking awful villain has two mauls.
I like the villain in Bloodsport 4.
You would. He's my LVP.
He looks like Benjamin Franklin.
He totally does, and that's what I thought too. Anyway, so there's a scene in Bloodsport 3, the following Kumite, where he's out in the hills of somewhere in Asia, and I don't even want to say China because I don't know where he's supposed to be. And he's taking a bath, and this beautiful woman comes into the bath. She disrobes and gets into the bath, and then he stops her and says, no, and puts her towel back on her, and she just kind of like she's like, Jesus, all right, fine, fuck you. Whoa. The next day they're walking, and he goes, I want you to know that was nothing personal. It's just I look at you like a sister because we have the same father. And I'm like, wait a second. You've been here for like 4 days. You are no familiar relation whatsoever to this woman. She clearly desires you. You
don't know this lady from Adam. Take that dick out.
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. And then she agrees. She's like, yes, it would be incestuous for us to sleep together because our fathers are the same. What like, what are we? Oh my god!
If I was her, I'd be like, incest is the #1 fetish in the world. Let's go for it.
So he's catching arrows and blah blah, and then there's a really poorly choreographed and narrated scene. I shouldn't say narrated. I wish this movie. Well, it is.
It is narrated in the framing device. He's telling the story to his kid, and so maybe that's another reason he doesn't fuck in this one, Henry.
Oh, he leaves.
He's leaving out the fuck scenes for his son. Yeah. Unlike that How I Met Your Mother pervert.
Right.
Yeah.
So then. So then at one point, Rhys Davies says to his henchman, "Kill him. We cannot afford to have him come here. Kill him." So then I'm thinking, so there's going to be an assassination attempt on this kid, on this guy, Bernhardt. But they're just walking in the woods, and 4 goons find him. First of all, I don't know how they know where he is. That's never disclosed to anyone. These 4 guys who are like, "Oh, look what we got here. We got a sexy woman." And he tells her to stand aside. They don't have guns. They have no weapons. He dispatches them in under 30 seconds. And, that's the assassination attempt? I actually thought it was just like a random mugging of like 4 guys in the hillside.
I don't even remember this.
Very, very stupid. So the killing attempt does not work. He makes it to the Kumite, and then the only part of the movie that I really paid attention to, which gets extremely boring, but it's still fighting.
No, I'm the opposite. This is when I picked up my phone.
I get it. See, but a movie like this, I'm like, I'm really not interested in all this. At this point, 3 in, let's just get some fighting done. And then, but the fights.
I hate fighting. I have a weird thing where, like, I love superhero movies. I love, sci-fi and action. But, once it gets to the fighting, I'm bored. And I'm the same way with pornography, Henry. I like the setup, and I get bored with the sex.
Right. The setup is the anticipation.
That's sexy to me.
Right. The anticipation, the foreplay, the scenario.
That's right. And then once they're just fucking, I'm like, what? God, this is going to go on for like 20 minutes, just in and out and in and out.
Over and over, pounding and pounding.
I know how this works. Every 10 minutes, we're going to switch positions. We're going to do that for a while. They're going to say the same shit over and over again.
Dance porn videos are 4 hours long. Every 10 minutes, every 20
No,
minutes.
they're like 40 minutes, the videos you watch. That I watch. Right. What are you watching, those 5-minute clips?
I don't pay for it.
I'm not paying for porn.
Yeah, I'm not tech savvy enough.
I don't think I've ever paid for porn. No, that's not true. Well, when I first turned 18, I bought some magazines. I went in and I bought a DVD.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had to throw that out when I moved in I actually brought it when I moved in with Katie, and then the first day we lived together, I confessed. I was like, I moved in with my porn. I'm going to throw it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good move.
Yeah.
Nip it in the bud.
For sure. All right. Bloodsport 3. What do you give this?
1.
Yeah, me too. Who's your MVP?
This was really hard, and I was just doing it because, he's a decent villain, I guess. John Rhys Davies.
Get out of here. I'll go with that red who can't act.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Whatever. She was the most valuable player to me.
Yeah, I understand. Her singing scene was priceless.
Incredible.
She is my LVP, but maybe I should have taken a Daniel type look at this, flipped it like a Bizarro look and made her the MVP. But anyway, she's my LVP. John Rhys Davies, my MVP. Who's your MVP? She's your MVP. Who's your LVP?
I'll go with I don't know. I gotta go with Daniel Bernhardt. This guy is a dud. I hate this guy.
He really is a dud. So, long story short, he beats the beast, and he gets his ass kicked. A recurring thought I have to say, because in Bloodsport 4 it won't apply as much because he's a completely different character.
Literally.
Yes. It occurred to me during this movie, especially during this movie and during 2. You do all this training, right? You really don't fight anyone during the training. He's with this old guy. He's learning how to catch arrows, start fires, chop trees down, get torn apart by cows, which is one of my favorite scenes. He's getting torn apart by bulls. I mean, what good is it? Is that a golf ball?
Oh, no, it's the cap for my seltzer. Sorry.
Oh, okay. The sea was angry that day, my friends.
Yeah. The marine biologist. Hey,
and like all of the, I just want to say, like, all of this training, this is a real serious point here. It's very serious.
I can tell.
Get your serious cap on. All of this training, what's the point if you get in the arena and you spend most of the match getting your ass kicked?
Yeah, but here's where the training comes in. Here's where the training comes in. At some point during the match, you're getting your ass kicked, right? The thought's going to hit you, oh, wait, I'm getting my ass kicked. I should do the thing that I trained for. And you won't have that. You won't have that thought if you don't do the training, because you won't have the thing you train. You'll just get your ass kicked. But then that hits your head and you're like, oh, right. I learned a special move that helps you win fights. So then he does that, and he wins the fight. And he has an opportunity to kill Jonathan Rhys-Davies, and he does not, because he's a pacifist.
He walks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just incredible to me. I don't understand. It's like all this mystic fucking Far Eastern martial arts bullshit, and then he never employs any of it, and then you just do all that.
He does at the right moment. He does at the right moment.
He shouldn't have been getting his ass kicked that long.
Listen,
he should have ended that fight in a second.
Henry, this is what happens to Hulk Hogan every time, right? Hulk Hogan, he gets in that ring, he gets his ass kicked, right? He gets his ass kicked. Then he starts to shake, right?
Yeah.
Right? All right?
Right.
Then the guy tries to punch him a few times.
Matter.
It doesn't matter. He puts his finger up, waves it.
No.
Then punches him a couple times, does a body slam, does a leg drop, end of story, all right? So you could say to Hulk Hogan, why don't you just do a leg drop as soon as you go into the ring?
Is he catching arrows, though, in Tibet?
Well, I mean, I don't know what Sergeant Slaughter's bringing in. He could have some heavy artillery.
By the way, is it in 3 or 4 where we get to see an actual elbow drop? Is that Beast?
No, I don't remember, but I do remember that happening. Yeah, it's wild.
He drops an elbow. That was very exciting. I was like, all right.
Yeah, and then rolls right back up. It's pretty good.
And we get a suplex.
There are a few suplexes, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
A couple kip-ups. All right. Bloodsport 4, I guess. Is this what you want to talk about?
No.
Did I give my LVP?
We could talk about something else if you want.
Hey, did you know that Chad Stahelski was one of the fighters in Bloodsport 3?
Why do I know that name again?
He's the dude that directed John Wick.
Oh. Which fighter was he?
He was one of them.
Thanks.
Looks like his name was Max Omega.
Oh. Well, I remember when that name was announced, and it shows on the wooden board.
Well, that guy that came out ended up directing some movies.
All right. Good for him.
Yeah, classic stuff. Let's talk about Bloodsport 4, the Dark Kumite. This shit gets dark, and it does. You know, the title was intriguing to me. Because so far we've just been going like, Kumite, next Kumite, Kumite after that. But so now, Dark Kumite, what does it mean?
I don't know, man, because, it's unrelated. We decide to keep the same star. I repeat, we decide to keep the same star and change the character.
Yeah, so this is something I never really thought about before doing the podcast. And now we've encountered it a few times. An actor playing different roles within a franchise. And I gotta say, Henry, I fucking hate this. I am anti this. This is the worst franchise trope there is.
Yeah, it's real bad.
And I even didn't like it in fucking the Sergio Leone movies.
Yeah, you had an issue with it there. I didn't, but I understood where you were coming from.
Man with no name. Man with 1,000 different names.
Right.
Yeah.
Different character traits. Different this, different that. Yeah.
Now, he is no longer playing Alex Craze. He's
Alex Cade, Alex Craze, Alex Cardio.
He's playing Agent John Keller. All right, I think they named him Keller because it sounds a little bit like Killer.
So this started, and I go, isn't Keller RoboCop's name? So I was watching a movie. No, I didn't pause it.
That's Weller.
So I look up RoboCop on Letterboxd. I'm like, what was his name? And I'm like, of course, it's Alex Murphy, but he's played by Peter Weller. And the movie kept going, and I was none worse for the wear. Continue.
All right, so this movie, we have a new writer and director, although Alex Merez, the director of the last two, stayed on as a producer. So thank God we have his guiding hand. All right? The new director is a fellow by the name of Elvis Restaino. He has 2 directing credits, both from 1999. The other is called See Dick Die, and he wrote and directed it. So I guess they saw that, and then they liked him and gave him Bloodsport.
His name's Elvis. They figured that it would be eye-catching on the poster.
Oh, he's also in the movie. He played Dr. Rosenblum in the movie.
Oh, sure. The guy with the thick Coke bottle glasses.
Is that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he was actually not bad.
He was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, for all the actors in this movie, I mean, the director actually did an okay job.
Yeah.
All right, the writer is a fellow by the name of George Saunders, who has like 1 million credits on IMDb. Really? But like none of them are anything. It's all just like it looks like he's made like 1 million straight to TV versions of Fatal Attraction.
Oh. All right.
And now he's doing kids movies. In 2018, oh, this looks great, Henry. Tim, if you're listening, we're doing this for We Love Kids movies. All right, I'm looking at the poster of a film called Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
Uh-huh.
Starring Dean Cain and Tara Reid. Look at this cover.
Pull back a bit.
Can you see it?
Andy and yeah.
Andy the Talking Hedgehog. I don't think you could see it.
I got it. A bearded Dean Cain.
He's always bearded, right? When he's not Superman.
Oh, is he?
Do you see Tara Reid? Perfect. Yeah, good.
There, hold it. Yeah. Who's the kid hiding behind the
just a kid, hedgehog? Just a kid. Don't worry about her.
All right. A magical...
It says a magical good time, and that's in quotes, but it's not attributed to anybody.
I bet it's not.
That's on Tubi, baby. We got to watch that. All right. So he wrote that. And most recently, something called Horse Camp, a love tale. All right? And that appears to be a horse movie starring Richard Karn, the next-door neighbor from Home Improvement, and Jason London, the twin from Dazed and Confused, not the one from Mallrats.
Oh, okay.
Because that's Jeremy in Mallrats.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Great talking about George Saunders, as always. This film came out Feb 15, 1999. February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. Of course, the birthday of Conor Oberst from Bright Eyes. I once won something at Bonnaroo for knowing that. Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah. Look at you. That's great.
There's a trivia contest in a tent, and I won some sweet merch, baby, and some drink tickets.
What'd you win?
Some merch and some drink tickets.
What merch? T-shirt?
Yeah, probably some like a Bright Eyes T-shirt or something.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. It was great. He performed that day. Got to see him live. Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Great stuff, Henry.
That's when you had a beard, right?
A beard? I didn't have a beard back then. I never had a beard.
Didn't Alex Halajian like make jokes about that for like 18 years because you said you had a beard? Oh,
only because yeah. I think Alex once asked me if I ever grew a beard, and I responded like, not really. I like went to Bonnaroo once, so I didn't shave for like over a week. That's like the lengthiest my beard ever got, and he found that extraordinarily amusing,
as he always does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brought it up for years.
Yeah.
Okay. So this film is about a police officer. Right off the bat, I'm like, oh, great. Original storyline. I'm ready. So he's a police officer. His partner is his wife who sued that ice skating rink. And then he's I mean, what are we even doing?
I don't even know, dude. He's walking around with this partner, two beautiful cops walking around, and then they go into a club where there's there's a crazy guy who shoots up the place, and two other cops are there, and then these cops walk in accidentally. No, a 211 is in progress. Sorry, we got that on the police radio. And they show up. The one cop is shot, and the other girl is stabbed in the neck with either a knife or something. I feel like it's I want to think it was a pen because that's how he gets. It
was a pen, dude. It's set up. She says it's my favorite pen.
Ah, right. So he's not Beast. What's his name in this? What's the bad guy's name in this?
Caesar?
No. The fighter.
Oh, I don't remember.
Shrek.
Oh, of course! His name is fucking Shrek! I couldn't believe it.
Shrek.
And the great thing about this character is he has a lot of layers like an onion. Shrek.
His name is Max Shrek.
Henry, what about the part where they had Shrek in a cage and they were when they showed him in the cage, he was being lit with this neon green light. And I'm like, it's fucking Shrek.
I think they stole some things from Bloodsport 4.
I think the film Shrek was inspired by Bloodsport 4, the Dark Kumite.
And obviously the director's a fan of Batman Returns, your favorite Batman movie.
Because Max Shrek is the name of Christopher Walken's character, of course.
Only 7 years earlier.
They should have given him a son named Chip.
They should have just called the fucking cop Bruce Wayne. I mean, who cares who was watching?
What's the cop's name? What is his name in the... Oh, Keller, right.
John Keller. Agent John Keller. So I guess he's not really a cop. He's like he's more like FBI or something.
I think he's a cop. I think he's just like a special cop.
What special cop is called agent?
Special.
Uh-huh.
This takes place in the future, because we cut forward... Definitely.
I don't know when it takes place. It could take place in 1984 for all I know.
But in the last movie...
This isn't related.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. They don't necessarily need to be going in order.
Oh, there's no order.
All right, so he goes to prison. There's prisoners going missing from a high-security prison. Why is it? So he volunteers to go in the prison.
First he kills two cops, or seemingly does, and that was so poorly set up that I was like, did he just shoot two cops and they're letting him go with it? And they never explain that it was, I guess...
It was part of the plan to get him into prison. But I don't know why they're getting him into prison at all, because at one point they reveal that there's already a U.S. Marshal undercover in that prison. So why do we need a second undercover guy in the prison?
I don't know. They have that little guy, that little shrimpy guy, who was probably the best actor in the movie, but...
I guess.
No,
the villain's the best actor. I like the villain.
He's the worst. Him and the warden are the worst actors in the movie.
You're crazy. That's the best part of the movie.
I'm not saying it's not the best part. I'm saying they're the worst actors.
Okay. So, what's happening in this prison is kumites all around. I don't know. I still don't know why we're calling them kumites.
I don't either. So apparently this prison, what do they call this place? It's Fuego Pinal. So, which makes me think that even though this movie is clearly taking place in the United States, they sent him to like some Central American or South American.
No, they say that. Yeah, it's supposed to be like Bulgaria or something.
Bulgaria. They filmed a movie in Bulgaria.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. But Fuego is fire. So it's fire.
I know that.
Fire penal.
It's prison fire. Fire prison.
Fire prison. Penal.
Fire. That's what this movie should be called. Fire prison.
I would have been way more down.
I know. I'd be so much more excited to watch a fire prison movie. You could put in a double feature with Hard Rain.
All
right. So the villain of this movie is the warden Caesar. Okay.
No, the warden is another guy. The guy who cackles and giggles all the time, who's beholden to Caesar.
No one cares about that guy. He's just a patsy. The real guy who's running the show is Caesar. Now, Caesar lives on a large, very fancy marble staircase.
That's where he does live there.
Yeah, we only ever see him on the staircase.
Is that connected to the prison?
I think so. So I think it's in the prison, yeah.
So you're like in the mess eating, and then like you take like a door back to the kitchen, and then if you
No, I feel that there are like catacombs in the prison, and when you enter them, you are all of a sudden in this very sort of, what's another word for fancy? No. There's a word I'm looking for, and it's driving me nuts. And I keep thinking of the word arcane, and it's not what it means.
No, it's the opposite of fancy. I know it's the morning. I'm not. Yeah.
You're fucking me up, man.
Yeah. Fancy.
Ornate.
Well done. Ornate.
Thank you.
Ornate.
So he lives on
just Googled synonym.
I googled thesaurus fancy. Then so he's lives on an ornate staircase in the catacombs of the prison. Okay, on each stair, there's a sexy lady. All right,
or two on each stair.
Well, could be one on either side, you know. But then on all the landings, there's like beds. So he's got some of them sort of like on couches, like lounging on couches, and sometimes in beds, but usually just on the stairs.
Looked very uncomfortable, by the way. Those women.
For the women?
Yeah, they're like laying on a stair going downwards, and it's like their backs must be.
Yeah, I wondered that too, because I have occasionally snuck into a movie theater and not been able to get a seat and sat on the stairs to watch the movie. Pleasant. It's not comfortable. You really do, after like 20 minutes, your back starts to hurt.
Yeah. And these women are perpetually in this position.
Well, I think once they get scoliosis, he enters them into the Kumite, and that gets rid of them. Why are they so beholden to this? It's one thing for a guy like this to like find one maniac at a club, right, and to be like, come back to my prison and sit on my staircase.
Sure,
you know, but he seems to have like 40 women attached to this deal. There's a bunch. Harem. And some of them are fucking whoever he wants them to, including what's his name in this?
John
Keller. And some of them are probably fucking him, I assume. Some of them are probably fucking this giggly warden.
Right.
All right? So, like, what are they getting out of the arrangement? They're sitting in this dank prison.
I think they're captive. Or I had another theory that they're drugged up, like on opium or some shit.
Oh, that's interesting. They all do look like real subdued. I mean, the women, the actors were probably drugged up.
Correct. So they got the idea from the cast that they had with them. And plus, Rosenblum is passing out these very ornate-looking paper flowers that he's gotten that one guard hooked on. Remember? It's like opiate.
You jacking my word now, ornate?
Oh, look at that. Yeah, Sorry. At one point, Rosenblum is explaining the drug he's giving to the guard, and he gets Daniel. We're supposed to believe that John Keller. He automatically starts like saying these chemical compounds that make up the drug, and it is fucking hilarious because he's like, "Oh yeah, of course." So you have a little acetane in there and some methylpropylite and some oxygen, and he's like, "Exactly."
Well, John Keller is very smart.
Yeah, I got that.
That's how we know. Do you see that Daniel Barron is really embodying a different person in this film? A much smarter character. You can tell.
Because of the trench coat?
No, because they wrote lines where he knows chemical compounds.
Yeah. What'd you think of those coats in prison? They give him matching striped prison coats. I thought those were very, very nice. That was a nice touch.
Well, this is a Kumite prison. I don't think you're going to get those in any real prison, but if the idea is to get you to look badass in a Kumite, I think they're doing a real fine job.
Yeah. Welcome to Kumite Prison. It is a shithole, but we are going to dress you well. We're going to give you dark, dank colors and a trench coat that'll make London fog and Sherlock Holmes jealous.
Very good. Yeah. So he doesn't want to fight in the Kumite, and his whole thing in this movie is he doesn't kill. That's like a special. That really putting an emphasis on that in this one. Yep. And so he keeps fighting, and then they won't kill him. I really like that one scene where they make him fight the U.S. Marshal, and he turns his back to him. I will not fight. And then the U.S. Marshal just like whacks him in the head with his pipe.
Yeah, and he's wearing like those 80s wrestling gears that like, it's like he's wearing like the King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, he's wearing a singlet like he's fucking Bob Backlund.
Poor guy. Yeah. He whacks him in the head. He's like, just do it. Just do it, John. Just do it.
And he does.
And he punches him back, which I didn't care for because I figured he said he's not going to fight him. I thought when he punches him a few times, I figured like Keller would just take it and be like, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
You can do it. You can do it. You can punch me. Prudent juncture. 1,000 points of light. And then a U.S. agent is like, well, you just punched me, John. Can you please, for the love of mercy, can you please just punch me, John? Just hit me and kill me like they said, or they're going to kill us all, okay? You can't beat a chicken if you beat it in a rooster in the hen house.
So how does he end up winning at the end?
So Caesar shoots Agent Marshall, little guy, and Shrek.
Oh yeah, there's like a gunfight. Keep your guns out of my Bloodsport movies.
I know, man. And so Shrek comes out. Keller beats Shrek, and then Blair, the wife, comes around and opens fire, and there's a big gunfight at the end. And
she's sexy, that woman. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
She is. And even though they're outnumbered 70-2, gun-wise, they managed to dispatch all of them.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the wife. I was talking about the one who dies at the end, because she gets like a little bit of a redemption arc at the very end.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't get that.
I think that's this actress Christine Marais. She has 5 credits on IMDb. One of them is as Jewish person, and I gotta say, I do not think this woman is Jewish.
It's a French last name, so I don't know.
She's got Christ right there in her name,
Christ Marais.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We killed that fuck.
Yeah, very strange ending to a very bad movie. And we didn't really linger on the sex scene because I just thought it was funny with her white.
Well, we talked about the jerking back of the head. That was my big takeaway.
But I just like that it's a direct-to-video movie. They can pretty much do anything they want. I mean, who's renting this? And then they keep her bra.
Yeah, a white push-up bra, like a padded push-up bra.
And her panties
Yeah, he just pulls them aside. Off. Well, that's all right. You just pull those babies aside.
Correct. That's how it can be done.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I was surprised to see a sex scene at all, frankly, because this is a guy who turns down fighting at like he's so morally black and white, and then he like leaves him. She's basically a slave. This woman he fucks, like she's one of the rando women on the fucking steps with him in that prison.
This is correct.
And he just like leaves her like. So now that John won a fight, like, you've won a fight. You can fuck this girl if you want. So he like, leaves John Keller to, like, wake up from being passed out on this bed in the middle of nowhere in the prison. This might be the fucking mess hall, as far as we know. They're about to make a mess. And so this woman comes out and, like...
That's if her underwear aren't off.
Yeah, right. And the woman's like... It's my job to fuck you now that you want to fight. Do you want to fuck me? And it's so funny, like, his reaction to it. Like, my assumption is, like, no, I'm a good man. I only fuck when I'm in relationship.
And I'm in love with my future wife.
I don't think it's set up that they're in love. Like, I don't think he ends up with the wife character in this movie.
Yes, he does. They have a big kiss at the end.
Yeah, but, like... I don't think he's, like, pining away for her in this prison. I think it's more like, you did good, I'm gonna kiss you now.
I don't think so. She's dreaming about him when she hears he dies. She's having, like, romantic withdrawal from him.
Well, he's John Keller. That's a different story.
Great point. Who wouldn't be in love with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's got a fucking ponytail in this movie, which is pretty good, baby. So no, he's like, listen, I'm gonna turn this thing on its head. They're expecting me to say I'm too good to fuck this broad, so what I'm gonna do is fuck her.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and then that's during that scene also where they keep cutting to the warden listening to them fucking.
Yes, true, very much. It reminded me of Francis Ford Coppola's movie with Gene Hackman titled The Conversation.
It's sexier than that, though.
I don't know, Gene Hackman listening to...
You think Hackman's sexy?
I don't know, man.
Tearing up that room?
Yeah.
Bend over and tear up the floorboards, baby! Let me see that ass crack, Gene! All right, so Keller wins, and that's the end of the movie. It's really bad, but I love this one. I recommend it. 1 star.
1 star for me as well. Of all of them, this was the hardest for me to
Not at through. All. To me, the hardest was 2.
Oh, no. Well, we're going to rank them, but who's your MVP?
To me, 2 was a boring number 1. And these 2 were at least trying to be silly.
Oh, they weren't trying to be silly.
Well, they were silly.
Let's not give... Yeah, all right. Who's your M and L in this?
Oh, my MVP is Ivan Ivanov as Caesar.
So in these movies, we have the opposite. We flipped completely in 3 and 4. He's my LVP. My MVP... I was going to go with the U.S. Marshal and the unitard, but now I feel like I might go with Dr. Rosenblum with the Coke bottle glasses.
Well, I thought his acting was okay, and I liked the effect. His glasses were so so thick, the lens, that sometimes you got a shot of his eyeball, and it was so big, huge eyeball.
Yeah. So I think he's going to get my MVP. Because he also did the double duty of directing this incredible thing and being on set acting in it, which, you know, as Clint Eastwood will tell you, it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, sometimes you forget to procure a baby actor. You got to use a little doll.
That's right. Where's that from?
American Sniper.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You forget to forget. Is get a doll.
All right. Who's your LVP?
Caesar.
All right. My LVP, boy. I had one. Hang on. Let me go look at it.
Don't go with Bernhardt again. Come on. There's
no, I'm going with Stothard. I'm going with Lisa fucking Stothard for suing that ice rink.
Right, absolutely. I agree. That's obnoxious.
Yeah.
That's beyond obnoxious.
My MVP is all the fucking teens and kids that were at that ice rink that day.
Yeah.
All right, just having a good time, not wanting to deal with this fucking Karen.
Yeah. She's like, I was in Bloodsport 4, okay? Watch where you're going.
I know. The headline said, actress sues this. Fuck off with that.
Oh, my God. Only in California.
Calling her an actor's wife is even stretching it.
Stuntman's wife.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be very accurate. He deserves that much.
Yeah. All right, let's rank the Bloodsport films. What's the worst?
4.
I'm going to say 2, the next Kumite. What's second worst?
3.
I agree. What's second best?
2.
4, the Dark Kumite. What's the best?
Bloodsport.
Yeah, of course. All right, done. We fucking did it, Evil Chris.